Let's see if this is recording. Okay. So you guys, it's late tonight. It's 11:54, and I decided to do a labor and delivery video. So I'm gonna do it while my camera's up and running and stuff. And this is like a new camera, so I'm kind of new to adjusting it. I'm looking at the light is flashing. I don't know why. Okay. So this is my labor and delivery video. Basically I was induced. I was supposed to have my baby on the 13th of September. So I was 40 weeks, and I was 40 weeks. I went to my doctor's appointment, and I told my doctor, I'm like, so what's gonna happen? And da-da-da-da. So she was like, we're gonna wait till. No, I went to the doctor. I was 41 weeks actually. And the doctor wanted me to wait till 42 weeks. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. Can we get something started? Because she said if I got to 40 weeks, she was going to induce me. Because I gained weight. And I only gained, 22 pounds during my whole pregnancy. But she was like, you know, the weight gaining and, what else? It was something else that she wanted to, induce me. So I was like, okay, for sure. I'm about to get induced. So when I was to my doctor's appointment, I'm expecting to get induced, but she wanted to wait, so I'm talking in circles. So at that doctor's appointment, I was like, well, could you induce me? So she called and she was like, see if they had any available spots or whatever at the hospital, because it wasn't, like an emergency or whatever, but she somehow did it as an emergency, I guess. Not even an emergency, but to get me in. So blah blah blah. September my due date, I was admitted to the hospital, and they started I can't even remember the medicine names and all that, but supposed to start like labor or whatever. So I had I was getting contractions, but not bad, but they were there. So they started the medicine. I can't think of the name, but they inserted inside you or whatever. And my contraction started on the screen, but then later that next morning, because they give you the medicine every 4 hours. So the next morning, I wasn't really it wasn't really nothing. I was at 1 centimeter. So let me see. I gotta think about this. It might have been a long time. I was at 1 for 2 days. So come the end of, I think, the second day. Let me see, Thursday. Yeah, I believe the second or third day. I believe it was the second day. But anyway, I was at still not dilated. So they said, we might send you home. I'm like, oh my God. So I started praying. I'm like, God, please do not let them send me home. I do not want to go home. I want to get this done and over with. So they gave me more medicine, and somehow the contractions started to come. And let's see. I'm trying to think. Let's see. The contractions started coming, and they were more intense. So she was like, we're going to check you. I was still at a 1, but contraction was coming. So I think later that night they gave me another dose. So that night they started coming. I'm like, oh man, this is the real deal. So that night, the last time she checked me, I was at a 2, barely at a 2. So I'm like, damn. But the contractors was there, so they, they didn't want to send me home. So later on, I say maybe 5 that morning or so. I'm laying in bed. I'm knocked out. My boyfriend, he's asleep on the little, how they had a chair pulled out or whatever. So I'm laying there asleep, and this is probably the 15th. Yeah, it was the 15th. I don't know the date. But so I'm laying there asleep, and I'm the contractions was waking me up. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, something ain't right. So I keep waking up, going back to sleep, having contractions, waking up, going to sleep. And all of a sudden, I'm woken up out of my sleep, and I'm laying there. I'm like, what is that? All of a sudden, my water breaks. I'm laying there it said, and then just this gush of water, like, and I thought, I was thinking for a minute, I said, damn, did I just pee on myself? Because I had to go to the restroom, but they had me hooked up to, you know, like the IV and all that stuff. So I'm like, damn, I can't get into the restroom, so I called the nurse. And the nurse was so sweet. Oh, let me see if this is recorded, y'all. So the nurse was so sweet. She was like the coolest nurse out of all of them. So I called the nurse, I buzzed her, and I said, I think my water just broke. So she rushed in, she was like, she checked me, she was like, it's clear fluid, you know, everything's okay, and yeah, your water did break. So she looked, she was like, that is your water. I'm like, oh my God. Instantly I got like a little scared, but at the same time I'm like, okay, you know, I'm progressing. So, she jumped up, I changed my gown and stuff, and then, you know, the bedding and all of that. She's crying. And I'm so ready for everything to, you know, start. I get up, I brush my teeth. Like, out of all things, I don't know why I just jumped up and I brushed my teeth. Her daddy got her, so. But I jump up and I brush my teeth. I'm like, okay, the show is about to start. So, you know, I was like, I'm able to handle the contractions. I was still probably like, maybe like a 3 or 4, one of those. So I'm like, okay, I'm cool, I can handle the pain. So I went to sleep, and then I woke up. So the contraction was so intense. I'm like, oh my gosh, can I get some pain medicine? I was still at like a damn 3. They supposed to give you an epidural like after you 4 or 4. So I'm like, I can get an epidural, I could, you know, take this pain, but it wasn't so bad. So I'm like, oh, I gotta take medicine.